Hey, what's up? Happy New Year. Hope you had a good holiday. Got a couple things today. Want to kind of recap last year, go over some of the goals that we had set for ourselves. Some we accomplished, some we didn't. Had a couple of surprises along the way, too. Also, want to talk about the goals we have set for this year. We got a lot going on, so it's going to be a busy year. And then also want to talk about the future of this channel. So let's get into it. The biggest surprise from last year was starting this channel. I never thought in a million years I would be doing this. Last April, I developed some inflammation in my lungs, which made me take a step back from woodworking. But through that, I decided to start documenting what we do here on the homestead and do some little instructional videos as far as some baking that I do, the stuff in the garden, and some woodworking. My lungs are fine now. They're pretty much healed. I'm back to woodworking and got a lot of stuff going on this year that I'm very excited about. It looks quite different in here now, as you can see. I decided to put all my tools on wheels so that I can shove everything into that room to keep this area clean. It's obviously much easier to clean up all the dust in here when there's no tools in the room. I also wanted to get Berta's vehicle in here to store it at least over winter. And also I can keep my snow removal equipment in here as well. And I still have plenty of room to work. I can just pull out the tools that I need for the day. And then at the end of the day, move them back in, sweep up, good to go for the next day. I think that was a big part of the problem with my lungs was there was just so many layers of dust in this room, dust underneath stuff, in the saws. And so now I can just clean it all up and put it away and be done for the day. I do wear a mask whenever I'm creating dust in here now, which has helped quite a bit too. One of the remodeling projects we wanted to get done last year was to move the office to the second floor of the house. And so we painted the walls up there, we replaced the carpet, and I built a bookshelf to go along one of the walls. It looks nice up there now. We also installed a hood vent above the stove in the kitchen. There was a hole in the ceiling where one was previously, but it was taken out a few years ago. And they just put a whole grate on the ceiling to cover up the hole. The hole was out farther from the wall than they usually are, so I had to build the whole encasement out a little bit. But it looks great, and it works. So the last bit of remodeling we did was add more storage and counter space in the kitchen. I built a cabinet with a walnut countertop to go right beneath our pots and pans that are hanging from the ceiling. We also had a few surprises pop up throughout the year that needed immediate attention. First, it was the well pump. We had to replace that. And then the water heater went out. And then had to replace the sump pump in November. But at least those are fixed now, and we should be set on those for a few years. A couple other things around the homestead that I wanted to get done last year was to build a farm stand and a roof over part of the chicken run. We knew we were getting more chickens, so we wanted a place that we can sell eggs, as well as extra produce or anything else that we make on the side of the road. And also because we were getting more chickens, I wanted an open space that was covered for the chickens to roam around in so they weren't cooped up all winter and didn't have a dry place to roam around. So let's head out to the garden. We'll talk about some things that are happening out there. We also added this storage cabinet here last year to store all of our chicken stuff. We've got our chicken feed in here, a couple different kinds. wood chips for bedding. We give them some grubs for goodness, and then different assorted stuff and the pails that we use. We're going to give the chickens some grubs in a bit, so here we go. Now let's go to the garden. All right. Let me grab my notes. We got a bit to discuss here. Wins and losses from last year. Let's start with the garlic. You all know that most of our garlic rotted in the ground last year. So we started again. We planted, I think, almost 200 bulbs in October. And then I mulched it with straw. So we'll see what comes of this year. Potatoes. We had some problems with either mice or voles eating the potatoes in the ground. So this year, I'm going to try planting some onions around the whole bed and see if that deters them. I guess the rest of this list is mostly because I failed at taking care of the seedlings back in early spring. So I'm going to do much better at that this year. So our tomatoes, the San Marzanos, did actually pretty well, despite the fact that they were all spindly and looking pretty poorly when I planted them. But the other kind, I think it was Granadero or Granadero, something like that, something new that I tried this year, those didn't do very well at all. That might have been my fault. Again, not sure. Let's see, onions. Onions was a huge success this year. We got 175 onions. And I think I planted about 175 onions. So that's awesome. We've still got a ton downstairs. Let's see, peppers. We we actually ended up with enough Serrano peppers to feed, I think, the whole community around here. They were coming out everywhere. We made a ton of hot sauce out of those and won't need any for many years if they keep. But our bell and sweet peppers didn't come up at all. That might have been my fault back at the beginning too. So we're only going to focus on the bell and sweet peppers this year. Zucchini, we're going to grow less of this year because we just got so much zucchini and kept getting so much zucchini until the end of the season. So we will only plant maybe 1 or 2 plants instead of the 4 that I had out there. This trellis didn't turn out the way I envisioned it in my mind, mainly because of my seedling mistake at the beginning of the year. The melons and squash that I started were just spindly, and they weren't looking good when I planted them. So they didn't do well. They didn't climb up and over, and the fruit wasn't hanging from the trellis like I had envisioned in my mind. So we'll do better this year. We did actually plant strawberries last year. I planted 2 strawberry plants in this bed over here, and we only got a few strawberries, but they suckered out, and then I was able to plant 21 plants in fall. So I got those all mulched, and hopefully we have 23 strawberry plants this year. Let's head on out to the chickens and feed them some grubs. Morning, y'all. How we doing? You guys want some food? These little grubbies? Hey, y'all hear that? Yeah, come on out now. How's the morning treating you? Good. Good, that's good. All right. Let me get out my notes for this. chicken successes this year. So we successfully raised 6 chicks, and they're still alive. That's nice. And then we got 5 more from one of our friends, including a rooster. That big guy. He's kind of a meanie sometimes. And then we got 4 older hens and a rooster from a neighbor down the road. And they're still alive, so that's good. And out of 14 hens that we currently have, we're getting about 6 eggs a day on average. So once it warms up, we should be getting probably about a dozen a day. We officially started selling eggs last year. That was a huge goal of mine, was to have enough chickens that we could start selling our eggs. Yeah, you just want to hang out all day? I know you do. But yeah, the only goal I have this year for the chickens is to make sure we still have at least 16 of them at the end of the year. All right, let's get out of here and let them have their day. So one of the remodeling projects I want to get done this year is to open this up and create an actual storage and like drop station, basically. I want to take out the wall here so that it's all open, and then install a bench with some some shoe storage down below, and then put in a shelf up here for more storage up above with some hooks underneath for coats, and then some sort of storage for keys. So once we come up with a full plan, we'll put a design together so we can have something to show before we actually start the project. I love bread. I love eating bread, but I also love baking bread. I love the smell of it. I love working with the dough. I love seeing the end result. I've been baking bread for many years. We haven't bought bread from the store in quite a few years. I've been following Martin from King Arthur Baking Company on YouTube, and they just came out with the Big Book of Bread. There are over 125 recipes in this book, and I've made it a goal to bake 1 per week. I realize that's going to take me a couple years, but I'm here for it. I'm very excited for this. So we got a few general goals for the year, except for the bread making. I will be making 1 different bread each week from that book. But I think we're really just going to see where the year takes us. I got a lot of fun ideas, and I just got a new CO2 laser and a 3D printer. So I'll be putting those together in the next few weeks. That's going to take up a lot of my time, I think. As well as woodworking jobs and projects that I want to get done around here. Generally being better in the garden this year. And I'm sure the chickens will keep us busy too. So I'm very excited for the year. So as far as the future of this channel, I think I'm just going to start filming a couple things I'm doing each day and show you that. And turn it more into a vlog style show. I will still be doing some instructional videos, but those will be extra on top of the normal weekly videos. I do have a sourdough masterclass coming up, which will be fun. We'll go from starting a starter all the way to all the different types of things you can make with it. So look forward to that. It's going to be a really fun year. So follow along. Even hit that like and subscribe button. Check you later.